Good morning. What is up? Happy set. I was not prepared. I've been up, moving around, making coffee, and here I am not ready, even though I had the stream all built. But I wanted to share off some of my Cubs pickups from the last couple days from some friends at Club 400, in which I've got some in the other room. So maybe later I'll go share those. So what's happening? Had a day off. I was actually pretty lazy yesterday because I was hungover. I think even shooting for 35% probability of going live Friday was a long shot. But I figured because my wife came with me to Club 400, her first time, and I posted on Facebook I've been going over 8 years, and I started thinking, I'm like, yeah, it's been 8 years. And then I started thinking about the first event, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's been that long. I think it's been shorter. And it has. So I've been going to Club 400 for almost 6 years, not almost 9 years. My first event was because I remember I blogged about my very first time. And I didn't start my blog until December of 2017. So it would have been January 2018 when I attended my first Club 400 event with Bill Buckner. And Ray Burris was there. That was Ray Burris's first time. So about almost 6 years, January. So coming up in January will be 6 years since I started going to Club 400 events, which I don't think there had been too many at that point. Maybe a handful, maybe 5, 6 events. I think the first event was in 2014, but back then he was only doing a couple a year. I think, who did I miss? I missed Rizzo. I missed Mark Grace. I missed Pat Hughes because they were all before me. Of course, Ricketts. So there were a few that I missed. So anyway, Club 400, awesome time. We'll talk about that. Talk about the Cubs that I picked up. I was hungover yesterday. My wife goes, "Are you hungover?" I said, a little bit. She goes, "I bet you are." I bet you are. But it was a good time. I think, and I haven't, because usually I'm the one drive. My wife and I don't like travel. Like we don't go anywhere. We don't go anywhere. We don't go like on road, like a road trip, right? So there's not like opportunity to sleep in the car. So like in life, you're riding in the car and you fall asleep, and all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, whoa, we're way farther than I thought. Or the worst is you wake up and you're like, oh, I bet we're almost home. And it's been 15 minutes and you're still 3 hours away. So I had quite a few beers at Club 400 on Thursday night. And my wife doesn't drink, so she's driving. And I fell asleep at some point pretty early on in the trip, because we left at probably 10:30. The program went a little longer than it was scheduled for, so we stuck around till like 10:30, 10:30, and which, as you know, is past my bedtime. So we're driving home, and I conk out. I wake up, and because we had to take kind of a slightly different. We had to take the first exit and go to my mother-in-law's to pick up Biscuit. She was with grandma. So I wake up, and when I woke up, I thought we were in Janesville. And I'm like, where are we at? My wife says, oh, we're almost to my mom's. And I'm like, oh, wow. I thought we were in Janesville. So those are like happy little surprises. Like, isn't that like, that's just the key to that's just happiness right there. Think you're like still 45 minutes away from home and you're just around the corner. That's happiness, especially when you're drunk and it's midnight and you want nothing more to hit that comfy bed and turn in for the night. So that was holy shit. Dave Arnold's in the house. He left it 2. My God. 2? I know I missed a lot because I missed the family picture where I saw Dave kind of sneaking in. 2, my goodness. I don't think I could have stayed until 2, even if I would have been. I know I couldn't. I would have been falling asleep. I was having a good time. It was a good time. Picked up some cards. My eBay has been wacky, man. So I want to talk about Club 400. So Dave, stick around. I want to talk about you got mega reunion activities, I bet. Football game down at Western. I'm wearing my Badgers hoodie. We've got Washington State, I think. It's a away game. Where's Pullman, Washington. eBay's been freaking wacky. So like usually when I wake up in the morning, I'll check the notifications. I'll go to eBay. Ooh, I get excited. Ooh, 57 sales overnight. And we were drinking Georgia peach pie moonshine out of Jody Davis's huge mason jar. Oh my God. I'd still be hung. If I was still there or if I stuck around, I'd still be hungover. And I didn't, where's Kyle at? I did not get a Jody Davis, Dale Earnhardt story. But if I stuck around and drank some of his Georgia peach pie moonshine, I probably would have. eBay's been wacky. So the last couple days, I've been waking up to like fewer sales. And it's weird because I saw a lot of people complain last week about how the previous week was just terrible, awful in sales. And I'm like, man, I'm freaking killing it. And now this week, I'm in the boat that they were in last week. Like, what the fuck is going on? So, and I don't think I had more sales in the overnight as I woke up this morning than the past couple days. But here's what's weird about that. And I know, and I preach all the time. So yeah, my bar graph just like fucking shitty. Like I'm going to drop F-bombs this morning because it's just, what the fuck happened? You go back and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just killing it. Tuesday was a little below average, and I talked about that. It's like Tuesday, not bad, but I mean, the previous 5 days just killed it, so I don't worry about just slightly underperforming on Tuesday. And then Wednesday was like, okay, this sucks. Hopefully we bounce back. We're heading to the weekend. Typically Thursday through Sunday are my higher sales days. Thursday, fucking A, what the hell? Like 50% of my goal. And then Friday wasn't much better yesterday. I don't know what the hell's going on. Here's the strange thing about this. I added like 1,000 items Monday and Tuesday of this week. Usually when I add that many items, like sales take off. And it did. Like the basketball, I sold like 20 70s basketball cards right off the bat. I did pretty well on some of that. But for the most part, and I know I listed some shitty. I listed a few hundred, like 82 Fleer commons, and I get it. I get it. It's junk. It's not going to move. Like I just mentioned earlier this week. Quantity, volume, I don't know what I said, but quantity doesn't equal sales. Quality of quantity equals sales. So But for the most part, most of my listings, I would say 70% of what I listed earlier this week out of 1,000 to 1,200 new items were quality, semi-quality to quality. And then there was 25% that was, not, just kind of junk. So another strange part to all of this, not only that, but another metric that people swear upon, auctions. Oh, it's going to drive traffic. And this is the second, I know it's the second time at least, potentially the third time, when I've listed a whole bunch of auctions, my traffic has actually declined over previous weeks. My traffic this week is lower than it's been since the middle of summer, 2 months ago. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. And I do understand eBay is, we don't have people buying cards on a consistent base, from us, it's the calendar of new items. It's been a few days since I've listed anything new. I think Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, I listed some new items. So it's been a few days. The saying, the more you list, the more you sell, it's kind of true. Because if you list quality, it'll move. And it's like, well, I list, all of a sudden I had sales. Well, you probably had sales on new stuff. And so that's kind of the key behind it. It's and sometimes you'll capture a new item will drive traffic and people will be like, oh, well, he's got these other cards I want. And then you get volume sales. So it's just been weird. Hopefully things bounce back. This isn't the first time. It's not the second, third, fourth, or fifth time. But it won't be the last either. But it's just this is like the fourth. I've had 4 straight days of subpar sales after having 5. And I think it all averages out. I think if you take the 5, the most recent 4 days, and then just make it even the 4 days before that, I think I'm still ahead from like what my goals are. I do have 18. I listed about 200 auctions, I think. I see it right here. 216 auctions are listed. And I have 18 bids, which is lower than usual. These auctions end Monday night, so there's only like 2 days left, 2.5 days left of these auctions. So we'll see. Feedback is also, it's just been wacky on eBay. Wacky as hell. So I got a negative feedback last night that reads, I received notification that my item was dropped off on 9/8/23, which was yesterday, at 10:31 a.m. And now it is 8:36 p.m. and it has not arrived. I did not receive the package and it says that it has already been dropped off. Oh my God. This is the downside to ESE, standard envelope shipping on eBay. So I sent this person a message and I'm like, hey, can you please remove your negative feedback when the item gets delivered tomorrow? And then I explained how ESE works. Even though I explained it, they followed up and asked me, well, why is this the case? And I'm like, I just told you. I literally told you exactly how it works. The scans, and for those that may not know, and I understand, many people don't know how the ESE works. Postal employees do not have the scanners that are attached to this tracking. So these are only scanned at sorting facilities. So when it says it's delivered, it's probably not actually delivered to you, the end user. It's just been delivered to the destination facility, and then it goes to the local post office and the carrier gets it. So this guy is probably going to get his package, his $1.60 Dan Marino card today. And hopefully he knows how to remove the negative feedback. If not, I'll just go to eBay. And as long as there's messages saying, yeah, I'm sorry, I got it, blah, 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 they'll remove the feedback. I also got a neutral. There was a neutral feedback. Oh, this was just as equally frustrating. If I can find it. Where's my neutrals? Seller just informed me. Oh, and then my Michael Jordan lot got a neutral feedback, which I was concerned about. As soon as I accepted his offer, he sent me a message. And I like, this is probably not going to end well. But he didn't ask for any refunds or anything. He just left me a neutral feedback. Says, I wish there was more transparency with the condition of some of the cards, but all in all, I'm happy with the purchase. Well, what the fuck? If you're happy, isn't happy a positive? I mean, I'm happy with the purchase. Well, then why are you leaving me neutral feedback? Guess how many feedback he has? 10. And one of those is me. Here's another neutral feedback. Seller just informed me that the card is damaged, so seller refunded my payment back. Okay, that's a legit neutral feedback, okay? Now, there's more to the story. So this person bought 2 cards. One was a 1978 Topps Rob Carpenter. I pulled it, and it looked like it had like a crease. And usually if there's creases, I will put either poor or crease in the title because people don't read descriptions. And you can put it in the description. It'll be like, well, I can't see it in the picture. And if it's in the picture, they're like, well, it's not in the description. Like, shut the fuck up. Sorry, I'm on a roll today. Sorry for the F-bombs. F-bomb Saturday. Put the kids away. We are not, go have them watch California Dreams and Saved by the Bell. We are not education and, well, we're adult education this morning, but not that kind. So anyway, so I notice there's some damage. I'm like, okay, it's not in the description. It's not in my title. I don't know if you can see it, but even if you can see it, people don't look at pictures either. They're just going to use it as an excuse. So I'm proactive and I message this person. Scott's in the house. What's up? Another Club 400 friend. So I send the guy a message. I'm like, hey, I pulled this card. It looks damaged. I'm going to refund your money. I'm going to send the card anyway. And he responds back, thank you, but don't send it if it's damaged. And by the time he had messaged me back, I had already shipped it out because he had another card that he ordered. So I sent it. He gets it in the mail yesterday. And he sends me a message. And he goes, I don't want to paraphrase. Well, if I can find it, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't want to look for it. He says, hey, the card wasn't damaged. I'm happy with it. Well, shit. I should have just said, see, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. I was a good proactive seller. Oh, I'm sorry. This was damaged. I'm going to refund your money, and I'm going to send you the card anyway. And he likes the card and got it for free, and I still get a neutral feedback. But it's the cost of doing business. But it just seems like it rains, it pours. It just seems like when it rains, it pours. All these damn fucking feedbacks. Hallelujah. Merry Christmas. All right. So that's my eBay is what the fuck is going on with eBay this morning. YouTube's going to flag me for graphic language this morning. All right. I'm just going to, it's been a while since I've dropped some F-bombs. We're just fucking blowing. So eBay's been frustrating this week. But hey, it's card show weekend. I'm going to a card show tomorrow. It's scrolling at the bottom of your screen here. I'm going to have quarter boxes and dollar boxes tomorrow in, I almost said Schaumburg, St. Charles, Illinois. The St. Charles card show at the Kane County Fairgrounds. So this will be my first trip to a card show in that area. In fact, the only card show I've done in like the suburbs is Ben Schaumburg a couple of years ago. So I'm excited to get back. I did not do well at that card show, but it was also it was a summer show. It was the week before the National, which, hey, I'm huge on week before the National shows. But for some reason, that show was not, maybe it was 2 weeks before. I can't remember. But I basically, after paying tolls and gas and splurging on a Lou Malnati's lunch, I think I broke even or maybe lost a few bucks when I did that show 2 weeks ago or 2 years ago. But tomorrow we're going to do well because I'm going to have those banging bargain boxes. I'm going to have supplies, card savers, and top loaders. I'm going to have dollar boxes. I've been really filling up the dollar boxes this week. There's some really good stuff. So I know some of you, James, probably see you tomorrow. The quarter boxes are banging and the dollar boxes are banging. I've got some stuff in the dollar boxes that I would list on eBay for $5. You're probably not going to find $20 cards in the dollar box. You're probably not going to find $10 cards in the quarter box. You might. Because sometimes I just like, and that's happened. Like, hey, is this Adrian Gonzalez autograph supposed to be in here? No, but it's yours for a quarter if you want it. If you don't want it, I'll take it and I'm going to put it on eBay. But if you do want it, it's yours for a quarter. So I do miss things. So I'm going to have some. So my plan of attack for bargain boxes, since I'm doing 3 shows this month, and since St. Charles is a new area for me, I'm going to take a lot of my old stock because I'm going to have a lot of newer customers, hopefully. So I'm not going to like just bring all of my new stuff to St. Charles because I want to bring new stuff. First, I want to have enough for the 2-day show in 2 weeks at the Indoor Sports Center in Loves Park. I want to have plenty of inventory for that. And then I want to have some new inventory for the Madison Card Show at the end of the month on Saturday, September 30th. So I'm being strategic based on the shows that I do, since I haven't been to this region. I want to bring some stuff that's, been picked through a little bit. Not that it's crap. There's still a lot of good stuff in there. In fact, this winter, what I do in the winter is I will go through old quarter boxes, and I'll like half a box I'll put on eBay and sell them like crazy. And the other half I'll either, kind of mix in with quarter boxes, or if it's a bunch of like 2013 Bowman, it just goes in my bulk that I sell for fractions of a penny to my buyer in Milwaukee. So that's going to be tomorrow, St. Charles, Illinois. So I will bring 1 new box of baseball. I will bring 1 new box of football, 1 new box of basketball. And I'm building another. I sold both. I had 2 4-row boxes of non-sport at the Madison show, and I sold them. So I will have, I'm working on a non-sport box. I'm not sure if I'll have a full box tomorrow, but I'm going to bring what I have. So I will have some non-sport with me tomorrow. All right. What's going on in the chat? I'm going to show a little show and tell today. We've got Angel Baby Cards. He's up in Fresno, California. What's going on? John, good morning to you. He's going to get some Jimmy Dean breakfast and coffee. I'm drinking my coffee this morning, sans creamer, because what happened, I think I was drinking a lot of coffee on Thursday. I was doing a lot of sorting for the upcoming card shows. And because I'm still saying I'm still trying to get through my national haul. So I'm finally getting to a point where I'm like through it. I mentioned this morning in a group chat that I don't have any intentions of buying inventory tomorrow because I've got Bowman Chrome releases this week. So I've got a couple boxes of that on the way. And I think that's it. So, and I've still got a lot to list. So I've got a lot of inventory just to get up. So, so my intentions are not to buy tomorrow, but if the opportunity presents itself, I will buy. So anyway, coffee. I'm drinking it black this morning because I was sorting those boxes on Thursday, and I had I had my mug. I had to clean my mug out this morning because I left it down there in my next room over, and I got home, I woke up Friday morning and went in the pantry. I didn't have coffee. Usually I don't drink coffee. This is weird. This might be a weird thing. I don't drink coffee. Typically, I don't drink coffee when I'm hungover. A lot of people swear by it. I don't. I don't like coffee. I don't like it. Just makes me feel weird. Like I still feel like crap. It doesn't make me feel better. It just kind of like it makes me feel weird. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I just don't like it. So I did not drink coffee, but I got it in the pantry, I don't know, for a bagel or something. And oops, I left the creamer out. So it was out for 24 hours or 28 hours. So, well, and it's not like it was a full bottle. It was like I probably had 2 days worth of creamer left. So I just washed it out. I washed it out. And I'm like, oh, I'll just go to the store today. And didn't do that. I didn't leave the house yesterday. Didn't even take Biscuit for a walk because it rained most of the day. I stepped foot outside to get the mail, which I'll show you what I got. Let's get through the chat first. Red Light 34, what's up? Good morning. Yes, and hey, thank you. Thank you. Let me know if you have any auto baseballs you want to sell. Yes, I do. I've got about 20 more that I had separated. I had duplicates. So I think I listed 5. I think you bought 2 of them. Another person bought my Daisuke Matsuzaka ball. I still have a Nelson Velasquez. And who's the other one I have? There's one other one. I can't remember. He's probably not a very good player if I can't remember who it is. I think those were kind of the bigger names. The rest that I have are, probably Steve Trout. Who else did I have? I can't remember. But yes, I do have, I think there's like 20 or 25. And I have some I forgot, I have about a dozen non-Cubs that I'm just going to throw. Some of them I'm probably going to like $10. But I think I have a couple. I forgot. I have about, and I think I know exactly where my box of non-Cubs baseballs are at. Good morning, Brian Dean. What's happening? Angel Baby's got his coffee and Topps hat on. Dan's in the house. What's happening? We've got the dorky angler here. Good morning. A collector's dream in the house. Andy Mack, good morning. Starting a youth football program for West Aurora this morning. 128 kids showing up in about 45 minutes. Wow. Good luck to you, sir. How about that? Drinking Georgia peach moonshine out of Jody Davis's mason jar. Love it. Until 2 a.m. Tracy, good morning. What's happening? Zach and Porter in the house. Let's see. Welcome to a Saturday morning. Understand the whole raw market, but what about your slab? I don't have a slab. I don't have a slab game. That's not my game. Happy Saturday, grinding for good. James wants to know, are you loading up your bargain boxes? Yes, I'll have a brand new baseball box for you. Talking Tati says, you don't look too bad for Post Club 400. Well, you should have seen me yesterday. That's why you didn't see me yesterday. I was hurting. Let's see. Talking Tatis, thanks to Andy Mack. Johnny V, that happened to me before my 86 DK Saberhagen autograph. Said it was delivered. Took me another week to get it. Yeah, typically it's a day. Sometimes it's 2 days. But then sometimes there's like your situation. It's like a week later. So, and it's usually new buyers or eBayers that don't understand it, and hell, even people that are seasoned that may just not know the eBay standard envelope. These kinks will work itself out. It's still fairly new. It's been going on for what, a year, at least a year, maybe a year and a half. But as we get more used to it, it becomes more of a thing people will understand. Scott says, warning, graphic language. Look at that. See that thumbnail? Look at Scott. That's little baby Scott Nelson in the background. Is that Dave Kingman? Scott Nelson, Cubs bat boy, 1977? What year was that? Let's see. Talking Tati says, now that's a clickbait title I'd ever heard. One F-bomb Saturday. There you go. I get what's happening here, listing hundreds of raw each day, but there has to be more to collecting and selling than just this. Rob Carpenter just retired 2 years ago from coaching high school football. Very cool. Very cool. Former New York Giant, Rob Carpenter. Good morning, TD Sports Cards. Good grumpy morning. I put poor in title, description, and on the eBay grading drop-down menu, bases covered. There you go. Good morning, George. I should say good evening to you. Hey, it's let's see. It's Saturday night for George. Red light, thank you. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit my eBay store. Let's throw that up. We've had that banner running, so let's there you go. You can visit 99centcards.com. Hall of Fame card collector, good morning. I'm at work, so can't catch the show live. Just dropping in to say have a great day. Thank you. Dollar boxes, yes. I've got some good shit in there. Baseball, football, basketball, and then I'll have some random stuff. Angel Baby doesn't have cream in his coffee. Scott says you're hungover. Not anymore. I was yesterday. I felt like shit yesterday. That ain't no lie. Today I'm good. Let's see. There you go, says Angel Baby. There you go. Drink your coffee the way you like your one of ones. Black. There you go. I like I like one of one super fractors. I like it gold. I should drink my coffee gold. Let's see. Cooter, he's on I-35 heading south to the DFW area. Dallas Card Show weekend. Merle, I live within a few miles of I-35 on the south side of the Twin Cities. Angel Baby says, as soon as I earned my black coffee wing, suddenly every new car dealership became my coffee beach. Plus, they offer free donuts. There you go. Get those free donuts. So, happy Saturday. So, I got this is a mail day. I got this on eBay, and shit, I probably don't have any scissors or box cutters in here. I'm just going to rip this box open. I haven't opened it yet. This was actually Dan. Is Dan still here? This was a purchase inspired. I was influenced by Korean cardboard. Yeah. I hate packing peanuts. So, a purchase inspired by Dan. Korean cardboard. So, this you will see. Something you'll see over on that shelf probably tomorrow. Whoop. There we go. Boop, boop, somewhere in there. All right. Okay. Inspired by Dan. Oh, doesn't even have who it is. Lansing Lugnuts. So where's Scott? I hope Scott Nelson is still here. Is Scott Nelson still in the house? Because Scott will remember this guy. Oh, shit. Oh, that must be the bat. So we've got ourselves a Lansing Lugnut bobblehead. And see, this is like a professional. They know how to ship bobbleheads. Scott is here. Look at this bobblehead, Scott. Lansing Lugnuts Hee-Sop Choi bobblehead. I was willing to pay like $40 for this. And when I searched for it, Dan mentioned, he's like, I've got a Hee-Sop Choi Lansing Lugnuts bobblehead. And so when I searched on eBay, I found one for 40. I'm like, oh, $40. I'll buy it for $40. Then I saw one at auction. And I got this for $15 shipped. $15 shipped. And I was going to buy this for $40. Hee-Sop Choi. And he's got a bat. Goes with it. So this is my other Lansing Lugnut bobblehead is Andy Cisco. And how about one of my favorite Cubs, not minor leaguers because he struggled, but draft picks, Bobby Brownlee. I have a Bobby Brownlee, there he is with bat in hand. Bobby Brownlee Daytona Cubs bobblehead. So Hee-Sop Choi. See, my wife organized those bobbles. She decorated that. So she's going to come down. She's like, something that's not my work. So let's go and put him. I see it opening. Cisco. Look at that. Like a glove. Fits like a glove. Right behind Joe Madden. Right in front of Andy Cisco. I think he's a little, we got to move Hee-Sop back a little bit. He's a little too, he's intruding on Joe Madden there. So My new bobblehead, Aesop Toy. So, and I'm not a you look behind me, and that's the thing. I think when we're collectors, hoarders, we think like, well, that's not a lot. Like I don't consider myself a bobblehead collector. And then you look behind me and you're like, you have 40 bobbleheads on your shelf. That is defined as a bobblehead collector. But it's like, but I don't like actively seek them out unless somebody in the chat says, "Oh, I've got this bobblehead." I'm like, I didn't know that existed. And then I go search for it and I find it at a good price. I'll buy it. And I mentioned this, I think probably during the Aesop Toy bobblehead discussion. There's one bobblehead that I still want to buy, but it's like, and I think they're 40 or 50 bucks on eBay. Excuse me, I'm belching. Rick Monday, Saving the Flag, which was actually a Dodgers giveaway, not a Cubs giveaway. He's in Cubs uniform, obviously, because it happened at Wrigley Field, 1976. Rick Monday bobblehead. Let's see. There it is. So there's $145 plus $10 shipping. So yeah, they're about 50 to 60 bucks. Ooh, what's this one? Rick Dempsey. Oh, that's Orioles. So let's see. Let's see if there's any at auction. See, I got Aesop. I saved myself 25 bucks by finding it at auction. So there's one at auction, $50 plus $13 shipping. I can just go buy one now for cheaper or about the same price. So I'll keep my eye out on that. But it's like, I'm not a collector. And I think I actually had this conversation with somebody at Club 400 on Thursday night. I'm like, they're like, do you just collect cards? And I'm like, no, I hoard everything. I'll collect bobbleheads, Cubs signed baseball. I would say I'm a autographed baseball collector. I will bobbleheads. Like I'm not an active collector. I'll just, if I find one at a decent price, I'll buy it. But autographed baseball is a little different, but that's more of, it's a fun hobby for me getting the actual autographs. Like I'm not going to go to eBay and buy, I have, and there's probably a few, like I need an Ernie Banks signed baseball. I'll probably go, I've got Ernie Banks autographs, but not on a baseball. So I think that's something that should be on my ball wall. So at some point I'll go, but they're expensive. So that's something that I would buy because I can't get it in person. He's no longer with us. But if I go to spring training and I just enjoy the hobby of autograph hounding. And I'm not a hounder. I'm just go get them. So that's my thought process. So I would consider myself an autograph baseball collector. And then other stuff like game used. I have game used stuff, but I'm not like actively seeking it out and collect. I collect it, but only if the price is right. So that was my mail day. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've had a mail day because I didn't buy really anything in August. The only things I bought were like stuff at a card show, and I think I did buy a couple blasters and pre-orders, like the Bowman Chrome boxes, which come out this week. Hopefully I get them this week. And then the Topps Pro Debut. Was it Pro Debut that I ordered? Which comes out now. It's been pushed back in to October. So that's been my first mail day in a while. Where are we at? Let's go back into the chat real quick. Where are we at? Dorky Anglers headed to Shakopee. Am I saying that right? Shakopee? For Renaissance Fair. First time for me. Good luck with that. I don't know if that's for... Merle says, I went once. Not my game. I think I would be in the same boat. Not my game. If coffee is tainted with anything other than water and coffee, I don't like it. There's George. He's team black coffee. I'm team creamer. Team creamer. That sounds dirty. I might get flagged for that. Let's see. Dorky Angler says, LOL, thanks. We'll see how it goes. Hee-Sop Choi, nice. Jeff McIntyre, what's happening? Another great prospect who bit the dust. I like Hee-Sop Choi because he landed us Derek Lee. That was basically a straight-up trade. Hee-Sop Choi to the Marlins for Derek Lee. Johnny V, good thing you aren't a Toronto Blue Jay fan. Their bobbleheads are always demanding a pile of... Really? That's interesting. I wonder if it's just because it's Canada and collectors are in the U.S. I don't know. That's interesting. That is when I get collections or go to Facebook Marketplace, like Cubs bobbleheads are expensive. Like the stadium giveaways, like, and that's mainly why I don't like. It would probably be, for some of the Cubs bobbleheads that are giveaways at Wrigley, it would be cheaper for me to drive to Wrigley, try to find a cheap ticket, the cheapest ticket I can find, get the bobblehead and drive home, than just buying it on eBay later, because they typically command sometimes upwards of $100 to $150 for the giveaway. Which you like, why don't you just go to the game, get a couple tickets, and get a few bobbleheads and sell? Which I did my Jorge Soler bobblehead. Back then, I think it was like a $50. I think I sold it for $50, but some of the stuff commands a pretty high price. Now in Milwaukee, up here in Wisconsin, Brewers, there's Brewer bobbleheads everywhere, and nobody can sell them for $5. It's like, God, I wish I was no, I don't wish I was a Brewers fan, but I wish the Cubs market on bobbleheads was the same as the Brewer bobblehead market. Then I probably would be a bobblehead collector, and I'd have 7 shelves full. Tracy says, new PC has begun. Picked up an SGC 3.5 66 Willie Mays and a 4.5 67 Mays. Got both for less than what I sold the Boba Fett Gold Finest card. Hell yeah. Love that. Tom, East Coast Tom in the house. What's happening? Angel Baby says, are you planning on LeBron James Dodger bobblehead? I desperately need one. No. I do not. The only bobbleheads I acquire are Cubs. I have one. Do I have one or two there's 1, 2. I think we went through this exercise when that was set up. There's 2 non-Cubs bobbleheads on that shelf. Well, technically 3. So there's a Giannis bobblehead that I got in the Amalfi Coast. There's a John Mayberry Negro League bobblehead that my friend Steve got me. He was at the museum down in Kansas City, and he's like, I got 2 and I don't need one. I only need 1, so you can have it. And then there's Tony La Russa Iowa Oaks bobblehead, which I have because Tony La Russa was a Cubs minor league player. Now the Iowa Oaks were the White Sox, so he was the manager, I think, with the Iowa Oaks in 1980, somewhere around there. So that's not a Cubs bobblehead, but I cheated there. And then, of course, there's minor league bobbleheads, but they're all Cubs affiliates. There's a Ben Zobrist high school bobblehead, but since he was the World Series MVP, he's on the shelf. In Korean, Choi is pronounced Che. Interesting. Hee-Sop Che. I like Choi. I wonder, is it so I wonder in the English language, is it pronounced Choi? And it's just different. There was Angel and Angel. There's a Cubs minor league pitcher. There's several Angel/Angels in the Cubs minor league system. I think it's Angel Gonzalez. And so I asked him, I said, is it pronounced Angel or Angel? And he said, both. I'm like, really? And so it's just, Angel is just the English and Angel is Spanish. So there you go. Tell you what, over here on the West Coast, much of what we seek, few really want. So if I see an Ernie ball, I'll pounce and just send it your way. Hey, let's do that. If I find a LeBron James bobblehead, I'll do the same. Talking Tatis, if you have to go to a Renaissance fair, make sure the weed guy stops by your house. Which weed guy? Dan says, won't pay more than $30 shipped for a bobblehead. And I'm kind of in the same boat. I would have paid 40 for the Hisop Choi. There's probably some others that I'll pay 40 or 50. But for the most part, I'll get these for like 10 to 20 bucks. So, and a lot of them were gifts. A few I got in game. I got a Chris Bryant at the game. The Jorge Soler was in game. 5 of these were from Cubs convention. I bought like the whole season. They were selling them for $10 a piece. You get the whole season of giveaways for $50. And then there's several of them that come in the grab bags that you can buy at Cubs convention for like $40. So that's where I get a lot of them. My mom got me the Joe Girardi. Let's see what else. Koji Fujikawa, I got it. I think the Chicago Sports Spectacular for like $10. What else? Ryan Sandberg, I got at a garage sale here in Madison. The Jody Davis Peoria Chiefs was a housewarming gift back when I lived in Illinois. What else? There's like an Ernie Banks and a Sammy Sosa. Those were like in collections I bought. And then some eBay purchases. So yeah. Rick Russell, I bought that one on eBay. That was a Quad City River Bandits giveaway. I think I got a Joe Madden that I bought. Oh, DJ LeMahieu, Peoria Chiefs DJ LeMahieu, I bought in a Craigslist buy a few years ago. Merle says, wear your best Star Wars outfit to the Renaissance Fair. Johnny V says, Reds bobblehead giveaways. The two most expensive are a Gapper for kids 14 and under and Marge Shot from the Reds Hall of Fame. Both sell for well over $100. There's some crazy expensive Cubs bobblehead. I'm in a group and people are like, there are diehard, like, and they'll spend hundreds of dollars on bobble. It's insane. Absolutely insane. I just realized something. I've got a lot of Cody cards laying around here. There you go. Hey, sell them now. Cody Bellinger is hot. Looking for a Don and Mud talking bobblehead for $40 shipped, if anyone has one. Let's see. Scott says nobody ever called him Che, so it was Hisop Choi. There you go. I got dressed up in my Toppling Goliath brewery sweatshirt. There you go. Love Toppling Goliath. I did some business with them when I worked in transportation. They have a beer. What's one of their beer? I really loved one of their beers. Toppling Goliath. And I haven't had it in a while. Maybe that'll be a Sunday because I don't want to. I've got to wake up at like 4 a.m. tomorrow. So no beers for me tonight. Let's see. Beer fine. Come on. I just want to know what your beers are. Beer on tap. Toppling Goliath. Dorothy's New World Lager. That's good. I have had that. Maybe that must be what I'm thinking of. I'm pretty sure it was a lager. Yeah, that must be the beer that well, here we go. We got some more down here. Yeah, that must be it. The Dorothy's Lager. Dorothy's New World Lager. There you go. Toppling Goliath. Where are they at? Decorah? Can't remember. They're in Iowa. Tracy says, drafted multiple Cubs prospects for my simulation league team the last week. Go Cubs. Love it. Now I'm curious, who did you draft? Which prospects did you draft? Scott says, the best Cubs bobbleheads are the classics from the 60s, the Cubby Bear type. Those are really cool. Those are really expensive. Or the Smiling Kid type. Oh, yeah. Those are cool. And those are like heavy duty bob. Like now they're like cheap plastic. Like some of these are cheap plastic. Like the Jody Davis is like, now that's a freaking sturdy big bobblehead. And then the DJ LeMahieu is this little piece of cheap plastic. Bobbleheads can get expensive. The Reds' first bobblehead made in 1961 put me back $250. The black face to the most desirable. A Colt 45 went for over $10K. Wow. It's a lot. So I got some other stuff. My buddy Brian texted me. He was in Des Moines, and he's friends with this guy. Got a card of him. He's good friends with Mr. John Maley, Cubs hitting coach. And he's like, "Hey, I'm out with Maley. Do you need the Iowa Cubs team set?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I haven't picked one up yet." So I have all 4 of the Cubs minor league team sets: Iowa Cubs, Tennessee Smokies, I almost said Daytona Cubs, Myrtle Beach Pelicans, and the South Bend Cubs. So you saw there Matt Mervis, which is not a very good picture. I always judge the minor league team sets with the photos. I do like this photo, Sergio Alcantara. That's a pretty cool photo. Miguel Amaya, he's got the in full gear. Here's been a gem for the big league team, Javier Assad. He's been great here down the stretch as a starter. Ben Brown, he's been up and down. Ben Brown. There you go, Ben Brown. Thought he might be a key piece of the rotation here in the second half of the season, but he dealt with some injuries. Now he's dealing with some control issues. David Bodie, Nick Birdie, who I think Nick Birdie is a big collector. I think him and his dad are both collectors. Brennan Davis, he's been dealing with some injuries. Jeremiah Estrada, trying to get Jeremiah into the collecting game. He does. He owns his own 1 of 1 from yours truly. Did a little trade through Ethan Roberts. So Estrada, he dabbles. He dabbles in collecting. He rips. Darius Hill. Bailey Horn, who I think's dealt with some injuries. Anthony Kay, who's been up and down between Iowa and Chicago. Caleb Killian. Brendan Little, who has one of the nicest autographs. His signature reminds me of Brendan Little's signature reminds me of Andre Dawson's signature. Miles Mastroboni. Here, how about this one? Christopher Morel. He's been big for the Cubs this year. Nick Neidert. This guy got DFA'd. This is a cool. They got him in full gear. Dom Nunez. I think he was DFA'd. Here's a guy in the back end of the bullpen. Daniel Palencia. Jonathan Perlaza. He's been raking at Iowa. Manuel Rodriguez. He was, I believe he was traded. I can't remember where he was dealt. Here's Cam Sanders. His dad, Scott Sanders, played for the Cubs. I think Cam might be in the big league bullpen next year if things go his way in spring training. This is a cool photo. Jake Slaughter, he's really been hitting well in AAA. This guy, he's been huge for the big league team this summer of Mike Talkman, and he was just kind of a we'll take a flyer on this guy, and he's been big for this year's team. Riley Thompson. Nelson Velasquez, we sent him to Kansas City for Jose Cuas, a reliever. We've got Rowan Wick. Bryce Wyndham, super nice guy. I make custom cards for him. Jared Young. And we got Iowa Cubs manager Marty Peavy. Ron Vallone. John Maley, awesome dude. And Eric Patterson, former Cub himself, Eric Patterson. And I like the checklist. This is the front of the checklist, just a baseball. And then there's your checklist on the back. So thank you to Brian for the Iowa Cubs team set. And then one of my favorite cards of all time, Chicago Cub cards, is the 1985 Topps #1 draft pick. I love this subset in 85 Topps. The #1 draft picks, and Shawon Dunston is a part of it. Darryl Strawberry, Floyd Bannister. Who else was in there from the #1 draft picks? Oh shit, the A's pitcher. Oh shit. Not Tim Belcher, or was it Tim Belcher? I can't remember. But anyway, one of my favorite all-time Cubs cards. It's in my top 5. And to get this signed in person was a lot of fun. Now, I'm pretty sure I have a couple of these already signed he used to, I don't know if Sean still signs through the mail, but he used to sign through the mail quite a bit. But I want to show you how much his signature has changed, okay, over the years, because I have a Shawon Dunston autograph from his first professional season when he was with the Quad City Cubs in what year? 1983. He was drafted. Shawon Dunston was the #1 overall draft pick the day I was born. It was a Sunday, June 6th, 1982. Me, Bo Thompson, was born, and Shawon Dunston became a Chicago Cub. So he was with the Quad City Cubs. See, I was not prepared for show and tell today. So Shawon Dunston's autograph in 1983 looked like that. Can you see it? Not really. There's a lot of... Here, let's take it out of the damn case. There we go. There's what a Shawon Dunston autograph looked like in 1983 when he was, 19 years old, 18 years old? And then today, 40 years later, that's what a Shawon Dunston looks like today, autograph. So there you go. This my guy Steve, who I bought that bulk lot from last week, bought a Craigslist collection from him. This was like why I wanted to buy his collection, because he had like 5 or 6 of these old baseballs. This has Shawon Dunston on it, Steve Ballmer, and Gary Woods. There's one signed by Jim Boudreau, who is the son of the late Lou Boudreau. So these baseballs, they were signed by Quad City Cubs players when they were coming to Madison to play the Muskies back in 1983. 83. So Scott wants to know, what are your top 5? So this is in there. So my top 5 all-time favorite Cubs cards. And this is value and player. There's some nostalgia. The reason they're in my top 5, part nostalgia and just part, I just love the look of the card, and mostly nostalgia. So this is in the top 5. 85 tops, Shawon Dunston. The 77 tops, Big League Brothers, Rick and Paul Russell. The 1962 tops, Lou Brock rookie card, which is over there. I don't think I should probably put my top 5 favorite cards. I should get a one touch and put this one in there. So Dunston, Brock, Russell, the 89 tops, #1 draft pick. See, I was a draft nerd back when I was 7 years old in 89. I love that Ty Griffin #1 draft pick card out of 1989 tops. That's in my top 5. And what one am I missing? Oh, the 84 Donruss Joe Carter rated rookie, which is also in there. I've got an autographed version in a slab. Where's it at? Too much glare this morning. Oh, he's in the bottom row, kind of in the center. You can't see it. So those are my top 5 all-time favorite Cubs. And most of those are not much value, right? I mean, this is a quarter card. The Rick Russell Big League Brothers quarter card. The 89 Ty Griffin, a penny card. The 62 Lou Brock has some value. The 84 Donruss rated rookie Joe Carter, I've seen it in dollar boxes, but it's a $5 card, if not more. So Scott adds, Earl Cunningham doesn't make the cut. That would be definitely top 10. The Earl Cunningham 90 score might be number 6 on my list. Definitely top 10. 1990 score, Earl Cunningham. What I miss in the chat. Johnny M says, got 10,000 comments heading to Goodwill this morning. Taxes are always on my mind. There you go. Take advantage. Just went to the Pelicans game this past summer. Very cool. Moises Ballesteros, Jefferson Rojas, and Javier Assad. Hey, I like it. I mean, Assad's already contributing to the big league team. He's had some nice starts this year, some quality starts. I really like Rojas. He's young. He's only like 18 or 19. And he's playing in, I think, Myrtle Beach, right? Yeah, I don't think he's made South Bend yet. Or maybe he just did get called up. I can't remember. But he's just a young kid, and Ballesteros has really come a long way as well. Let's see. Cubs Ernie Banks autograph signed National League Baseball with JSA COA. Let's see. Merle's started another promotion of 30% off 7 items or more. I've run these over 5 times and have yet to have someone take advantage of it. Not sure what I am doing wrong. Well, you may not have variety. You may not have the volume. I'm not sure how many cards are in your store. But one thing you have to do is, I mean, people have to see it. So, if you don't have a large following on Twitter, not many people see it. You've just got to find strategic ways to get the word out about the promotion. Did you send it out to previous customers? I mean, that's a big way. You send a coupon out to previous customers and boom, they take advantage. So those are some of the things. Make sure so that's a separate promotion from promoted listings. Bump your promoted listings up if they're not already to 10 to 12%. And then, so that's another way to do. Angel Baby says, holy shit, Bo. Back in June 1982, I was outside eating pizza and hitting on hot cheerleaders. There you go. Yep. And I was being born. Jason Edwards Sports Cards. What's up? Brock is interesting as it is a monument to a failure. And, in hindsight, it was a terrible deal. But at the time, like Brock had spent 2 years with the Cubs. I think parts of 3 seasons, 62, 63, 64. And he was a 200 hitter. And he wasn't, I guess it's a monument of failure to the, coaches working with him. Something changed when he went to St. Louis and he became a Hall of Famer. But he was Mario Mendoza as a Chicago Cub. The 64 Lou Brock really stands out. A lot of color and a beautiful card. Yes, absolutely. I love all 3 Cubs cards of Lou Brock, 62, 63, 64. I would say 63 is probably my second. And the 63 Topps Lou Brock might also be in my top 10. Just my personal, because I love it card. George has a 62 Brock. He's in the wrong uniform. Those little escapades in the boardroom uniform room in the back were getting a little out of hand. The band room. Oh, yeah. He was at Myrtle Beach as of end of August. Got to watch him play before I picked him. Very cool. Some people, where are we at? Some people don't want to have to do heavy math when it comes to buying on eBay. Personally, I hate caveats when buying. I don't use PSA because of the caveats. I would agree to that. 30% so down here, John says 30% on 7 cards is like the old net to me. Don't want to do math. So 30% is kind of one of those, well, what's 30%? Because you do have to run 10% is this times 3. Okay. So you have to run the numbers. If you do 50% off, and people know, you don't have to do math in your head on 50%. It's half of what the list price is. So that's why I like it's psychology. Selling is psychology. That's why, and there's great debates. There's one going on the blowout forums right now. Half the people in the forum are, there's no value to free shipping, and then the other half are like, oh, blah blah blah, and it's all psychology. People like free shipping. It's proven. Studies have proven free shipping psychologically gets people to buy, and just charging for shipping and then having all the caveats as setting up, well, if you buy 7 or more cards, it's this amount, blah 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 blah. It's a pain in the ass. So free shipping is easy, and if you but I've got to pay for, add it into the sell price. Can you please show how to send a promotion to previous buyers? Yes, let me see if I can figure this out quickly. I mean, I know how to do it, but usually it's like, summary promotions. Let's see. So if you go into present, buyer groups. So if you go into your seller hub, click on marketing, and then there's what's called a buyer group. And so this is this shows in the last year I've had 15,000 total buyers, of which 3,000, almost 4,000 are repeat buyers, and 11,000 one-time buyers, and then my followers. So you can create buyer groups from these metrics: previous customers, your followers. So I've got these, and these are just different coupons that I've sent out. This buyer group was a little smaller because I think it was just a 30-day buyer category. So there's just different groups, and I've got multiples based on the coupons that I send out. So just go into marketing and then go down to buyer groups. You can create the buyer groups, and then you can send out coupons and promotions based on those buyer groups. Where are we at? Merle says, got up over 8,000 listings, haven't posted on social media. So I would say create your buyer groups, send a message out to those buyers. And then the thing is, if you don't have many followers on social media, and then it's, here's the thing. It's basically like a funnel. Okay. Say you have 500 followers on Twitter. Not all 500 are likely active card people, right? So say 300 are card buyers. Well, you only have 8,000 listings out of millions of cards. So those 350, like, oh, I'll go, less than 10% will actually click to see your stuff. So now you're dealing with a buyer group of 35 or less, right? Now, of those 35 or less that actually have clicked into your store, they may not find 7 cards that they want. They may be looking for this, or that. You may not have inventory they're looking for. They may be high-end buyers and you're a high-volume, low-end seller, or vice versa. So it's a numbers game. The more followers you get, the more attention you receive, and it's all a numbers game. But you have to think, like, if you have 1,000 followers on Twitter, there's going to be a bunch of bots. There's going to be a bunch of people that just want a follow and they're not even active on Twitter. They're just trying to build their own following. There's going to be a certain percentage of people that are actually card buyers. And then of that number, 5 to 10%, if you're lucky, will actually click the link. And it's probably more like 1 to 2% will actually click the link. So you're looking at, if you have 500 followers on Twitter, you're probably going to get 3 clicks. So you've got 3 buyers. But as you scale up with your listings on eBay and with your followers on social media, once you get to 1,000, now you have 6 to 10 people instead of 3 that will click the link. You double that to 2,000. Now you're up to 20, and so on and so forth. Let's see. Got to figure how to send to post past buyers. There you go. Just did that. Scott says, what are the caveats? What does that mean with PSA? So PSA, and I don't know if John has answered this. Yep, there you go. So what are the caveats with PSA? There you go. You need to be a member. Your card needs to have value of no more than X. Your turnaround is such and such. The card can only be so old. It's nonsense caveats. That's why I like going through a group subber, and just make sure you find one you can trust, and that erases your $99 member fee. You can usually get, not only that, but you can get, I don't know with PSA, but I know with SGC, you can pay less than what you would pay as an individual because they get those group discounts. Turnaround is the turnaround, but it's PSA is a little more clear with the turnaround time now than it was a year ago and 2 years ago. And then, it's fairly, and I know, like, Yeah, it can't be sold. The biggest one is the value. Like once it hits, and it's like, well, this card is now it's not just a $35 fee. This is a $10,000 card because we graded it a 10, and now you owe us this much money. That's what I don't like, and I think a lot of people agree with that, with those caveats. Jason Edwards says, I've never promoted since I've been selling until now, and I'm only promoting at 2%. And the difference is crazy from non-promo to 2%, and I'll stick with the 2% for now. There you go. And I like that other people say this. And I had 2 or 3 people come up to me at the Janesville Card Show recently and say, I like promoted for the first time, and it's just like night and day difference. Like, I can't believe it is. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Angel Baby says free shipping works. Just build it in. Yep. You're going to send it PWE. That's 60 cents, 75 cents. Boom. Done. When Korean food delivery started charging for delivery, I slowly got away from ordering delivery. Now I almost never order out. When it was free, I ordered all the time. See? And it's one of those things, the way our mind works. Like, oh, now I have to look at Amazon Prime. You pay a subscription to get free 2-day shipping. Guilty. I do it. And I don't even buy that much stuff. My wife certainly takes advantage of it. Terry, what's up? Good morning. Let's see. Talking Tatis. There you go. Sent out 300 promos. Love it. Hail Mary hits. Joined late, but good morning, party people. How about them Detroit Lions? I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because I said I'm disappointed because the Lions are in the NFC North, and that was a big win for the Lions. But what have I been saying? The Bears are going to win the NFC North, and the Lions go out beating the Chiefs. That's going to crush my prediction. But I did say, what did I say? I think the Chiefs, that was the first team that I said they're going to, that's going to be the biggest surprise on a winner that's not going to win, the Kansas City Chiefs. And then when I looked at the Super Bowl odds, I'm like, okay, I think the 49ers are like the 5th. I'm like, this team might not even make the playoffs. So the Chiefs and 49ers are my 2 teams that, everybody's favoring them, but I think they're going to do poor. The Bears, everybody thinks they're going to win 4 games. I think they're going to win 11. Talking Tatis, thanks. 1380 total email sent with 7+ coupon. I will report results Monday. Hey, thank you. And I am itching to hear those results. John says PSA still has situational turnarounds depending on the price point. There should be a standard time and then a premium for quicker turnaround math. There is a lot of math. There's several different because I'm going to, and I keep talking about this. I've got a couple ticket stubs that I want to get graded through PSA, and they're part of my collection. I'm not selling them, but I do want to get them slabbed. So, and it's like, well, it's like, I don't like, if it takes a year, I really don't care. Like, I want them back, but if I can pay, it's like, I don't want to wait a year. But if it's significantly cheaper, and I have to do that math, like, okay, I'll wait 6 months. I pay this. I can get it back in 3 months and pay this. Is it worth that extra? And I think that's why I don't want to do it. Like, I have to do all this freaking math. JW, good morning. If you don't receive a card and request a refund, is there any difference as far as it affecting your sales go if you do it through the seller or through eBay? Okay, if you don't receive a card and request a refund, is there any difference as far as it affecting your sales go if you do it through the seller or through eBay? Well, it just depends how it's handled. So if you open a request, so if you're the buyer and you didn't receive a card and you request like item not received, depending on how the seller handles it, and it's kind of, every situation is different. If it was marked delivered today and it's ESE and the seller's like, give it a few days. And if it doesn't show up, they're like, hey, it's been a week. It still hasn't shown up. And then the seller should issue a refund. And, as long as everything's handled within eBay's timetable, the seller doesn't get knocked. What can happen, though, is if the seller doesn't respond in the timely manner, they can get knocked for that. You can get knocked for what's it called? Where is it at? Basically, sellers are ranked on transaction defect rate. So I was knocked a little bit on the Rob Carpenter card because when I sent the refund, I said it's damaged, and so that's a transaction defect. So that's something that sellers are rated on. Late shipment rate, tracking uploaded on time and validated, and then cases closed without seller resolution. So that's basically when the buyer and seller go back and forth, and then eBay has to step in and make a decision. They're going to knock the seller for eBay having to step in. John says the Lions of 2023 equal the Pirates of 2023. Okay. I could see that. Start out hot and then just fizzle down the stretch. I could see that. That's why more and more collectors are only now considering SGC in lieu of PSA. I've always been an SGC fan, and it's been more so because of I like the look of the slabs more than PSA. But it's also, like the price is the price. You don't have to do math like John said. There aren't as many caveats with SGC. Jason Edwards says my impressions jumped 1,000%. And page views jumped 55%, and sales, the most important metric here, jumped 267%, and only have 419 listings waiting on my 80/40 I bought to list more. Probably going to end everything but my graded when it gets here. There you go. Look at that. So those are real numbers. Jason Edwards Sports Cards, by bumping his promotions, by actually promoting listings just to 2%. His sales, the most important metric, 267% increase. Hail Mary hits. I've had 2 seller issues out of 600 plus. I immediately responded, hooked them up, and got them resolved the same day. They even ended up buying more cards for me. Customer experience matters. Absolutely. So that's what I had for today. A little show and tell. No longer hungover. Back at it. No Hobby Evolution tomorrow. I will be en route to St. Charles, Illinois. Come see me at the Kane County Fairgrounds. I'll have some new quarter boxes. I'll have all new dollar boxes. I'll have football, basketball, baseball, and some random like soccer, and I think there's even some wrestling in there. In the dollar boxes, I'll have at least one new baseball box, possibly 2. I'll have one new basketball box, one new football box. And I will have card savers and top loaders tomorrow, Kane County Fairgrounds, St. Charles, Illinois. My upcoming schedule, so that's tomorrow. And then I'll be at the 2-day show in 2 weeks down in Loves Park, which is just next to Rockford. So I'll be in Rockford for the Midwest premiere on Saturday and Sunday, the 23rd and 4th. Indoor Sports Center. It's on that cushy indoor soccer turf. And we've got the sports bar that overlooks the show floor. So that'll be a great time. As always, looking forward to that show. So see me tomorrow, St. Charles, 23rd and 24th in Rockford at the Indoor Sports Center. And then the Madison Card Show Saturday, September 30th. So that's my show schedule for September. Alrighty then. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit up my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Link also in the description. Buy 7 or more at regular price, and you'll get 25% off at checkout. So have a great day. I will be back on Monday morning, 7 a.m. Central, to review the Kane County Fairgrounds St. Charles Card Show. So I will see you Monday. Have a great weekend.